And welcome back to What If. This What If comes up from Chandler Mason. Maybe others made it, gave it to me, but I'm in the process of actually relocating transcribing all of my What Ifs to a new folder or binder or notebook. That's the word, notebook. So I am being a little lax about which What Ifs I'm choosing or going. Let me rephrase that. How many new What Ifs and who suggested them. If I end up finding that someone else gave me this one, sure. But for now, we're just going with Chandler Mason. You asked the question, what if Namekians could get Zenkais? Now, if I'm not mistaken, and I could be, I do believe that 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 I already did this one where Piccolo got Zenkais. I think I've actually already done, maybe I've already done this. I don't think I've done this one. Like in terms of like the broad the broad question about Namekians as a whole, but in terms of like Piccolo, I feel like I've done this one with Piccolo. Piccolo got to learn Kaioken. I've got my playlists up right now. No, it doesn't look. You know what? I think that was a one shot. That's why I didn't make a playlist for it. But I'm pretty sure I did the Piccolo one. But if Namekians could get Zenkais, what would happen? Well, it really wouldn't affect anything past what happens with Piccolo. So, assuming that and now we do actually learn from the Daizenshuu real quick, is that Piccolo did get stronger from his fight with Raditz. It wasn't by any major degree, but he did get a little stronger. So it's like a micro boost. But if he got a proper Zenkai, how much stronger would he get? Well, the Zenkais generally seem to range from about 20% to 33%, like either like a quarter or a third. That's usually it. Maybe half on a big one. So let's assume after the fight with Raditz that his power, instead of being like, I believe it's like 408 was his power. If you do about, say, a third of that, you're looking at, roughly speaking, 100 and say 50? Some, not even, no, 150, more like 100 and let's conservatively say, not 25, not 40. Let's go 135. Let's say that. That basically now adds that onto Piccolo's at full power, which puts him at like 500. Great, but nothing's amazing. So if we go by the whole idea of the training, he got about times 8 multiplier on there. That would put him then at actually near 4,800. So when Raditz and Vegeta show up, he takes on Nappa and Vegeta show up. He does take on Nappa, and he's actually able to push Nappa. He's actually pushing Nappa hard. He is beating Nappa for a little bit too. This allows Krillin and them to gang up on Nappa. Ultimately, Nappa, which ultimately tells Vegeta that, like, Nappa, stop screwing around and end this. Right, I've had enough. Powers up. Now, Nappa's full power, again, isn't truly known. There's no Daizenshuu number on that, sadly. But I do believe it's like 700. I've seen some say it's like 7,500, which does make sense. When he powered up against Goku in their initial fight, Goku was still the stronger, but he was only edging out Nappa. It's clear that Nappa's full power was actually enough to close the gap considerably, which would make sense then if it's like 7,500 if Goku's is 8,000. At that point now, it goes back to a pretty big curb stomp. I'll still never understand how from 4,000, with only a 500 difference, Nappa was still thoroughly beating Piccolo. I don't get that. But that's neither here nor there. What is here or there is that ultimately the Z Fighters, I think, do get pummeled. I think, though, I'll take it back. I was about to say, I think Piccolo survives, but the problem is now the gap is so huge that I still think you get the death of Piccolo in this version. And ultimately he dies, and, Kami dies as well. Now you might be asking yourself, wouldn't Piccolo actually be stronger in this version because of the Dragon Ball saga? Because he did get his ass kicked against Goku. Possibly, but we know his power was roughly equal to Goku's roughly, but we don't know if his training would give him a solid enough boost. For the sake of even arguments, let's just assume that 408 that he would originally be at is where he would start at in the series. So really, nothing actually changes until we get to Namek. Nail sure would get a Zenkai for just being from Frieza, but he has to recover first, which doesn't happen. He fuses with Piccolo. Piccolo obviously dukes it out with second form Frieza. He's actually doing pretty well. Then Frieza transforms. He gets knocked down pretty much, and then Dende heals him. Now, when Dende heals him, now you're looking at a hefty boost here, where he's actually able to even out the playing field with third form Frieza once again, which actually would be impressive. Sadly, I don't think this is like Saiyan Zenkais, where, there's those drastic son of a bitch boosts. I don't think that's happening, because Saiyans obviously have transformations as well, which I think is part of that. Piccolo, Namekians, I don't think would do that or have that type of Zenkai, simply on the grounds that I just don't think I don't think their bodies have transformations, so it doesn't work that way. Ultimately, now Frieza shows up, or goes to his final form. Goku shows up. There is no Dende to heal him anymore. So ultimately, yeah, that goes about the same. When Piccolo comes back, his power is pretty boosted, enough that he can actually keep Vegeta in check. Then you get the training for the androids. At this point now, I'm just going into what if Piccolo had a Zenkai, which I'm pretty sure and certain. I keep forgetting. I can actually, legitimately search videos on my channel. On the channel, is it Piccolo? Let's see. Do I have a video? Yeah. What if Piccolo received Zenkais? I got a what if for that. That was a year ago. But you're asking what if Namekians receive Zenkais? And quite frankly, yeah, there's no, except for the fact that Dende might get a bit of a boost. Maybe Kami even gets a little bit of a boost, which does ultimately strengthen Piccolo's fusion later down the line. There's really no major changes to the series. Because again, there's a reason that's a one shot. That's a one shot what if that, because yeah, there's nothing that actually changes the story, unfortunately. In terms now, again, if you want to make the argument that Kami also gets a Zenkai when he gets brought back to life, then you maybe have a slightly changed debate here. Because then it strengthens their fusion later on, which means now they can actually totally whip Cell, but Cell's still tricky, so he still gets away the first time. He's still far too strong for them to really take on, because even though Piccolo or Kamikolo would be technically stronger than 17, doesn't have the endurance because it doesn't have the infinite energy. So ultimately, yeah, Namekians having Zenkai really doesn't do much to the story. And before you say, well, what about the super tournament, the tournament of power? Well, sure, if they got injured and then recovered from said injury, that might mean something. But unfortunately, no. Those Namekians are not. That's not the case with those Namekians. They didn't get an injury and then recovered. They just got an injury and got knocked out. So that's my thoughts on that. Ultimately, that's what would happen if Namekians got Zenkai. Pretty much, you want the actual. It's more what if Piccolo had received Zenkai boosts. It's what if Piccolo receives Zenkai boosts? That's really what it is. Because ultimately the Namekian part of it really doesn't play much factor into the series. Dende might be a little stronger. That's about it. All the Namekians who came back might be a little stronger. El Guru might be a little stronger. But that's about it, sadly. So thanks for watching, though. I hope you enjoyed. Yeah, it does seem a little cop-out-ish to basically have when I've already done Piccolo getting a Zenkai as a video to do this one, but it is a slightly different question that deserves an answer, and the answer is it really doesn't change anything. So anyway, that's my thoughts on what if Namekians could get Zenkais. What do you think? Do you think I'm off base completely? You think it completely changes the fundamental nature of the Dragon Ball Z universe as we know it and will ever know it? Put in the comments below, let me know. But thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, you want us to review something, put in the comments below, and we'll, I just repeated that. Wow. I've done like 5 videos in a row. I'm kind of done at this point. Hit that bell if you want to be notified. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later, folks.